Hey, Cowboys Nation. We need to talk about where this team stands right now. And honestly, it's a roller coaster of emotions. The season started with that glimmer of hope, the kind that makes you think, maybe just maybe, the miracle run is still possible. We all held on to that thread, imagining the improbable and feeling that surge of optimism whenever the Cowboys pulled off a win or showed flashes of brilliance. But now, if we're being completely honest, those hopes have taken a serious hit. The scale of frustration and disappointment is high, and I have to ask, how mad are you? 1 to 10, where do you fall? Because if you're anything like me, it's edging toward a 9, maybe even a 10. And yet, this is where it gets tricky. Some people are already calling the playoff dreams dead. Technically, they're not entirely gone. The Cowboys are still alive, they haven't been officially eliminated, and the math still gives them a tiny chance to claw back into contention. But when you look at the numbers, it's not pretty. A 9% chance isn't exactly a comforting figure. And even if the team manages to win every single remaining game, the likelihood only climbs to 42%. That's a massive gap, a reminder that talent alone isn't enough. Timing, luck, and circumstance all need to line up perfectly. The problem is, even if everything goes right on the field, the Cowboys are competing in a brutal landscape. The Vikings, the Chargers, the Commanders, and the Giants aren't exactly pushovers, and even a perfect run might not be enough to surpass the wins already racked up by the Packers, the Niners, and the Seahawks. The Eagles? They would need a catastrophic collapse, and even then, Dallas is still trailing games behind the Lions. So technically, there's life in the playoff dream, but picture this. If the team were a patient in the hospital, it's the kind of situation where the doctors have warned the family to prepare for the worst. The machines are still running, yes, but the prognosis is grim. That's where we are, alive, but hanging on by a thread. Then there's the coaching and the defensive struggles. Every week, we see glaring issues that are hard to ignore. Allowing 44 points against Detroit, 44 against Denver, 40 against Green Bay, 37 against New York. These are not numbers that win football games consistently. Scoring 30-plus points should be enough, yet too often it isn't. There's frustration in watching players placed in situations they cannot succeed in, and part of that is a coaching problem. You can't keep repeating the same mistakes and expect different results. The personnel choices are questionable, and the defensive schemes often seem to leave players exposed. It's not just about execution. It's about putting the team in a position where they can perform effectively. This is the story of a defense struggling to find identity, and a coaching staff under scrutiny for not correcting the patterns. Even if Dallas goes 7-1 over the final stretch, the unresolved issues remain. This isn't just a bad game here or there. It's an ongoing story of structural weaknesses that have yet to be addressed. Special teams also demand attention. The kick coverage, the returns, the penalties that create hidden yardage. These mistakes cost games in ways that often go unnoticed until the final whistle. Brandon Aubrey has been a standout, providing sparks of consistency, but the overall unit has been underwhelming. Missing key personnel from previous years has been felt acutely, and the replacement strategies haven't always worked. It's not just about poor individual performance. It's a reflection of broader organizational decisions. Mistakes accumulate, and by mid-season, those mistakes are not easily masked by offensive production. Speaking of offense, the scrutiny swings to the receivers, and George Pickens has been at the center of some heated debate. A rough game against Detroit has sparked concerns, but context matters. One underwhelming performance shouldn't erase the value shown over the rest of the season. Football is a long grind, and consistency matters more than isolated moments. Still, the questions about reliability, drops, and engagement are fair to raise. The pressure mounts in these high-stakes environments, and the mental game is just as critical as the physical. Pickens has talent, but can he consistently deliver when the stakes are highest? That's a question Cowboys Nation will be debating as the season progresses. And then, inevitably, comes the quarterback scrutiny, the blame it all on the QB hot take. Let me be clear, that's far too simplistic. The interceptions and mistakes happen in context. Receivers drop passes, the offensive line struggles, play calling falters. All of these factors combine. To single out the quarterback is to ignore the complex web of elements that dictate a game's outcome. The quarterback can shine or struggle, but his performance is never in isolation. 31 completions out of 47 attempts for 376 yards tells part of the story, but not the full narrative. The run game, the protection, the design of plays, all are part of the chess match, and all deserve scrutiny alongside the quarterback's role. Coaching decisions continue to provide a mix of brilliance and bafflement. There are moments of aggressive play, calling, and well-timed design that work beautifully, but these are often offset by questionable choices and overly cautious strategies. Running the same plays on 2nd and 10, conservative approaches late in the game, and missed opportunities in key moments highlight inconsistencies that are difficult to reconcile. The team shows flashes of the potential that made fans dream at the start of the season, but those flashes are often dimmed by execution failures or strategic missteps. In essence, the Cowboys' current state is one of tension between hope and reality. The potential exists, the talent is evident, and there are glimpses of excellence, but it's a precarious position. One misstep could end the playoff hopes, but even now, the possibility remains. The fans are engaged, passionate, and frustrated in equal measure, weighing every play, every coaching decision, and every individual performance against the backdrop of a season that refuses to be straightforward. The narrative is complex, layered with both promise and peril, and as the remaining games approach, the stakes could not be higher. Continuing with the Cowboys, we have to dig deeper into the personnel decisions that are shaping this season in ways that are both obvious and subtle. Take the defensive unit, for instance. It is not just a matter of scheme. It's a matter of trust and positioning. Players like Kenneth Murray are being asked to take on roles that seem beyond their current capabilities, and the result is confusion and breakdowns on the field. Watching a backup safety like Maris Bell line up against a receiver of Jameson Williams' caliber raises eyebrows, because it's not about talent alone. It's about preparation, anticipation, and coaching that aligns responsibilities with abilities. The failures we're seeing on the defensive side are as much about opportunity as they are about individual shortcomings. When assignments are unclear or the coaching strategy doesn't adjust to the realities of the roster, mistakes multiply, and that's a theme we've seen repeatedly this year. The special teams issues further complicate the narrative. While Brandon Aubrey has been a beacon of reliability, the rest of the unit often struggles with execution, allowing opponents to gain hidden yardage that directly impacts scoring opportunities. Kickoff coverage that doesn't close down space, penalties at crucial moments, and miscommunication on returns all combine to put the offense in tougher situations. Football is a game of inches and seconds, and every misstep in these areas creates cascading consequences. The Cowboys can't afford these lapses as they head into the final stretch, because even if the offense performs well, it can't consistently compensate for recurring special teams errors. Offensively, the narrative often circles back to the receivers. George Pickens' struggles against the Lions were noticeable, and while they are concerning, it's critical to maintain perspective. He has shown flashes of elite talent throughout the season, and one or two poor outings shouldn't overshadow his overall contributions. The challenge lies in consistency and timing. Football is as much about seizing moments as it is about preparation, and a wide receiver's impact is measured not only by stats, but by the ability to make critical plays under pressure. Pickens has the skill set to be a top performer, but the team needs him to show up consistently in high-leverage situations. This is a test of mental toughness as much as it is of physical capability. Quarterback evaluation is another area ripe for analysis. The tendency to pin blame on the quarterback after a loss is overly simplistic. Interceptions, incompletions, and mistakes must be considered within the larger framework of offensive line protection, receiver execution, and play calling. 31 completions out of 47 attempts for 376 yards paints a partial picture. When you factor in dropped passes, pressure due to inadequate blocking, and conservative or misaligned play calls, the quarterback's performance appears in a new light. The narrative must consider the interplay between the individual and the system, recognizing that football is fundamentally a team sport where responsibility is shared across multiple layers of execution. The coaching staff, particularly Brian Schottenheimer, has shown a mix of creativity and caution. There are moments where aggressive play design pays dividends, moments where the team executes beautifully and the risk-taking results in success. But these flashes are often followed by sequences of overly cautious calls or questionable tactical choices that limit potential gains. Decisions on field goals, clock management, offensive sequences, and personnel deployment reveal inconsistencies that frustrate fans and complicate the team's chances of securing victories in close games. These coaching dynamics are magnified as the season enters its final phase, because every misstep is amplified when playoff aspirations hang in the balance. Running the ball, for example, has been handled with a conservative bent, and while short gains can be effective in context, an over-reliance on predictable strategies reduces offensive flexibility. Play action, mismatched packages, and situational adjustments often feel underutilized or poorly timed. The defense of the opposing teams, especially those with healthy linebackers and competent secondaries, exposes these conservative approaches. When the offense fails to adapt to these defensive realities, it creates opportunities for the opposition to dictate the flow of the game. The Cowboys' ability to dynamically adjust mid-game will be crucial if they hope to maintain even a slim path to the postseason. Another area of concern is the offensive line. Their struggles in pass protection and run blocking have been glaring in key moments, putting undue pressure on the quarterback and limiting rushing efficiency. When a line falters, it's not just about one snap or one play. It ripples across the entire offensive scheme. Timing breaks down, routes are disrupted, and the quarterback faces increased risk of mistakes. Addressing these issues is not simply a matter of substitution. It requires strategic alignment, practice adjustments, and perhaps even schematic changes to leverage the strengths of the available personnel. At the same time, the Cowboys still have moments of brilliance. Plays that catch the opposition off guard, perfectly executed deep passes, and explosive special teams contributions remind fans why this team is capable of greatness. Those moments are a testament to the talent on the roster and the potential that has fans dreaming. But the reality is that consistency is what wins championships. And right now, consistency has been elusive. The blend of high peaks and deep valleys throughout the season makes it difficult to predict which version of the team will show up on any given Sunday. Looking at the big picture, the Cowboys are a team at a crossroads. They possess the talent to compete, but structural weaknesses, coaching decisions, defensive vulnerabilities, special teams lapses, and inconsistent offensive execution threaten to derail their progress. Every game from here on out carries a heightened sense of urgency, and every mistake magnifies the stakes. The fans are acutely aware of this, feeling every turnover, every missed tackle, and every tactical misstep as if they were on the field themselves. The emotional roller coaster continues with each matchup, balancing hope with a sobering awareness of the hurdles that remain. Even as we analyze the flaws, it's impossible to ignore the resilience displayed in certain moments. Brandon Aubrey's kicking, the occasional big play from receivers, and strategic successes in key scenarios provide glimpses of the team that many hoped the Cowboys could be at the start of the season. Yet, the margin for error is razor thin. Injuries, lapses in focus, and missed assignments could easily tip the balance against them. The margin between making a miraculous playoff run and falling short is minuscule, and every decision, on the field, in the coaching room, and in personnel management, carries enormous weight. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL world is buzzing with speculation after what could be one of the most shocking developments of the offseason. Tristan Wirfs, the formidable offensive tackle, reportedly said yes to the Dallas Cowboys. Sources close to the situation hint that negotiations have progressed faster than anyone anticipated, sending shockwaves through the league and immediately igniting conversations among fans and analysts alike. Wirfs, known for his punishing run blocking and near-impenetrable pass protection, has been a cornerstone of his current franchise, earning respect as one of the top talents at his position. The idea of him potentially suiting up for the Cowboys has already sparked a flurry of reactions online, with social media lighting up as fans dissect what this could mean for Dallas' offensive line and for the balance of power in the NFC. While details remain murky, insiders suggest that Dallas has been aggressively courting Wirfs, leveraging both financial incentives and the promise of championship contention. Rumors point to a package that would make him one of the highest-paid tackles in the league, a testament to how highly the Cowboys value his skill set and the immediate upgrade he would bring to their front line. Analysts are now speculating on the domino effect this move could have. Could this reshape division rivalries? How will opposing defenses adapt if Dallas suddenly fields one of the most formidable lines in the NFL? And what does this mean for the team he might be leaving behind, a squad that has relied on his consistency and leadership for years? Every angle seems to open new layers of debate, fueling the frenzy that only a high-profile move like this can generate. Even among casual fans, the mere suggestion of Tristan Wirfs in silver and blue helmets has created endless what-if scenarios. Fantasy football enthusiasts are recalculating strategies, while diehard supporters of other franchises brace themselves for the challenge. For now, the story remains unofficial, a tantalizing rumor hovering at the edge of certainty. But if it comes to fruition, the NFL landscape could look dramatically different. The league's rumor mill rarely spins this fast, and insiders warn that the situation is far from over. One thing is clear. If Tristan Wirfs does indeed join the Cowboys, it would not just be a signing. It would be a statement, a bold, headline-grabbing move that could define a season before it even begins. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.